Good morning everyone and welcome to the European Parliament here in Strasbourg. Parliament, European Commission and Council have recently come to an agreement for the new European Digital Markets Act. This act puts an end to the ever-increasing dominance of big tech companies. I'm Maria from the web communication team of the Parliament, and to discuss these rules I'm joined by the member of the Parliament in charge of this legislation at the Parliament, Mr. Andreas Schwab. Welcome, Mr.
Hi, Maria.
Hello. But before we get underway with the interview, I'd like to remind our audience possible to my guest in the next half an hour or so. So, Mr. Schwab, let's get down to business. First of all, what is the Digital Markets Act and why does the European Union need one?
Well, big tech, social media and all these digital elements have been made a huge part of our life in the last 10 years, in the last 15 years. But we have also been seeing a certain number of big problems. One of the problems was and is always the economic dominance of these companies. And for this we have European competition policy. European Commission can act to fix specific problems, but the problem here was that it has taken too much time. So what we wanted was a tool that can be used very quickly, because the digital markets are so fast, can be used very quickly to fix problems already at an early moment. And that's what we did with the Digital Markets Act. We have so to say created the change of burden of proof rule, so that big tech has to prove at the beginning if there is a dangerous development, and not the Commission has to run behind them for years and to prove them in court at the end that there was something. So we have improved the situation for authorities to act with speed.
Okay. So as you explained, the Digital Markets Act will ban certain practices used by big tech companies acting as gatekeepers. But which companies can be designated as such gatekeepers? That's
a good question, but it's a bit difficult to say today, because what will happen tomorrow we don't know exactly. Whatever, where most of the consumers have to be. An app store, for example, if you have a mobile phone like a smartphone today, you have to go through. So the app stores of Apple and of Google, you have to be there. You cannot avoid this. Other elements might be the search engines. And for these companies that control these bottlenecks, they are considered gatekeepers. And so far, it's Google, Apple, Amazon, Facebook and Microsoft, probably TikTok and maybe also other Chinese or European companies, basis of the turnover and of the basis of the market capitalization. So two objective facts that the European Commission has to take into account when assessing the situation.
So far there are no European companies that fall under this category?
Well, we don't know really. If the stock markets grow fastly, it can be well done that there is also, for example, Booking or maybe Zalando, but it will depend on the number of users, on the market capitalization, on the turnover, and that will be decided by the European Commission when using this law to go behind them.
Receiving a lot of extremely negative publicity over the last years, big tech companies have shaped the European digital landscape in positive ways. So however, they have a dominant position between businesses and consumers. Then can you give some example of this?
Well, I mean, the European Commission has gone for a certain number of examples that I have always chosen. Is the app, which is not such of importance. There is one app which is called Disconnect. And this app shows you how you are tracked. So you see who is following you when you're online. And this app is available only in the App Store of Apple, but not in the App Store of Google. Because Google is saying that Android is based on advertising, and if the advertising is shown to the user, it might have a negative impact, and therefore this app has not been available on Android App Store but on Apple. And we say no, all apps have to be available on all app stores. So the right digital companies, especially also the big ones, have helped a lot to make our daily life easier. Also that we can meet today, Maria, here with users on Facebook is a pleasure, and it's something that is only possible because of these companies. But these positive elements unfortunately have also some negative effects on the market, as we would like them to do. And to create that balance in the markets again, we also wanted to do the Digital Markets Act.
And